MB Hanrahan, and I am your host today at OurVentura TV. And today, my guest, which in full disclosure, as I always say, my friend and colleague sometimes, Denise Sindelar, whose current hat is Programs Director of the Museum of Ventura County, which also includes the Agricultural Museum in Santa Paula. So, Denise, welcome.
Thank you.
And what kind of expertise brings you to a job like this? What does programs mean?
Programs means all of the outreach and education, everything that we do to support the museum's collections and exhibits and research library. So lectures, tours, concerts, you name it, a little bit of everything.
That's a lot. And what made you an expert that they brought you in to do this?
Well, I spent several years working. I owned my own business in downtown Ventura from the mid-90s to the early 2000s with a business partner, and we had an art gallery, and we had retail, and we did poetry, and we had a little bit of everything going on there.
Culture.
It was kind of, the downtown was blossoming as a cultural hub, and then I transitioned from there to the city of Ventura, where I worked for 13 years, progressively working in the public art program, on to cultural affairs, and then to manage the community partnerships division, which is another kind of melting pot of programming for seniors, for youth, for the community at large, including library services and arts and a little bit of everything.
Right.
So that experience really prepared me to come on board with the museum at the end of 2017 to help in this whole reimagining, reinvention of the museum.
Because they put on the shows, but people need to come, and then there need to be other things, because here's the show that's up for, say, 6 weeks to 2 months.
Yes.
So our museum, that museum has been around with different names and different reimaginings since 1913. What's the current mission statement of our museum?
Well, the mission statement is a very long and complicated, delivering cultural, history, art programs to the citizens of Ventura County, incorporating the history of the county and Channel Islands. But our recent vision statement is really inspiring vibrant communities by connecting the past, present, and future. Looking at how we work countywide and also regionally to connect people through their collective past, what's happening today, and what's going to be happening in the future.
Ventura, like so many places, it has like this hardcore, like homegrown, locals forever type of culture, and then there's just new people come in all the time. As someone who chose to move to Ventura, so it's very important, to keep on bringing up that past, certainly. So, name, for instance, collaborations. Well, either way you want to go. If you want to go into the educational element, or like how you collaborate with other city organizations, just from your experience, so the people have a feeling for what exactly you're talking about.
Sure.
If they've never experienced any of these events.
So some of the collaborations that we've had in the last year, we're on our second annual Ventura Unified School District All-Student Art Exhibit. So
excellent.
That's an opportunity where we're showcasing elementary, middle school, high school, and the faculty artwork for a period of 3 weeks. This is our second year. Huge attendance. It's been at closing at the end of the week. But every year we hope to have this recurring in April and May. We partner with Simi Valley. Some of our challenges with a West County locale being located at the western edge of Ventura is how are we serving the East County?
Yes.
So some of our partnerships have been hosting pop-up exhibits at the Simi Valley Cultural Center to support one of their performances last summer of Oklahoma. We partnered on a tough note with the city of Thousand Oaks and the Thousand Oaks Public Library in helping to document the victims of the borderline shooting. These are things that the fires that occurred both in Ventura and Santa Paula and Santa Barbara in 2017, and then the subsequent fires in 2018, East County, we are the repository for those stories that came out of that tragedy, and the stories of kind of support, community support, and then how people are coming back as a community after these tragedies.
Is there any examples that you can think of that specifically, and there was it's so important that people come together, like multicultural outreach or cross-cultural outreach? Is there anything that you can lay as an example of that?
I will say that the museum for many years has been kind of a leader in celebrating Dia de los Muertos. And we're really looking at how we can expand it from just the Ventura campus to Santa Paula. Last year, we were successful in doing a 2-day celebration with altars and an evening of remembrance on November 1st in Ventura, but then a full festival in Santa Paula. And then we collaborated with all of the other museums and the cemetery in Santa Paula to kind of participate more fully in. So that's one specific
that's a good one.
cultural. We have worked to have exhibits that showcase the histories of our both Japanese. Our Japanese citizens who have helped found this community, our Asian populations. So another example, we're working on a project with Rubicon Theater Company and an Ojai-based artist on showcasing Women Beyond Borders. And this is an international art project where this artist brought together women from all over the world to collaborate on these assemblages. There are 900 of those, and that's another collaboration that we participated in.
I love it. Okay, so as we are moving forward, give examples of how you, which I know you already have been, but some examples of, like, in the future, how the museum would like to, the mission statement's amazing, but exactly, like inspiring vibrant communities. That sounds so brilliant. And I will say that, you do have art exhibits as well. So it's not an art gallery, but there's art and there's an art collection. So either way you want to go with it, if it's with the communities or with artists, what are some of the plans that people watching us will see already have happened in the future?
Well, I think what we've been doing is incorporating more art installations at the Ag Museum in Santa Paula, which is not a normal venue that you would imagine you would go and you'd see.
But a very arty town.
But murals. Yes, there are murals, and we showcased an artist, John Robertson, who did a whole series on the Ventura County Fair, large-scale canvases. They're so large that we couldn't really show them in Ventura, but in Santa Paula we could. And the audience there loved this body of work. And we're looking at ways that we can do more art in Santa Paula, collaborating with the Santa Paula Art Museum so that we're cross-promoting. In Ventura,
that's great.
We are looking at how we can showcase contemporary artists, whether it be two contemporary artists from Ojai, then showcasing some of the historic works from the museum's permanent collection. We have a very small footprint in Ventura. We've recently redesigned some of our gallery space to free up the largest gallery at the back of the museum that had been dedicated primarily to Chumash history. We've reinterpreted that in a small indoor-outdoor gallery on site, and now we've opened up probably another 1,000 square foot that we can rotate art through. So our goal is to showcase artists from the county, but also invite artists in from outside of the area so they can collaborate with Ventura County artists.
Oh, that sounds great.
So Margaret Garcia, who is an artist based in Los Angeles, who participated in the 2017 Chicano art exhibit, is part of a plein air urban art movement in LA.
Which means painting outside.
Painting outside.
Or working outside, I guess.
Yes, and she is wanting to bring her group and exhibit works that they've created in the Los Angeles area here, and then do an exchange with plein air artists from Ventura County in Los Angeles to do this cross-population of this approach to capturing landscapes.
One of the most amazing exhibits that I can recall was seeing the plein air painting that had been done out at the islands one time.
Yes.
I remember that. And I'm just seeing that comparison to, like, painting an open crazy field in LA or painting of graffiti. So
yes.
Perfect. Shake people up a little bit and make them come in. Okay, so speaking of making them come in, because that's always what we want, right? Eyeballs, footprints, however you want to say it. What, besides all these fabulous ideas and projects, what I wonder about is how do we get young people, and you did mention the art show, of course, that's getting them in the door, giving them aspirations to continue to be involved in such a nice place. to get younger people and people that are like, our county museum, what, you know, to get them in the door?
Well, my thought is the first step is we need to be hiring younger people. So
Great
we,
idea.
as somebody who is looking at sustainability for that organization, we have a director, a programs director, a curator, all people who are over 50 years old who are kind of leading the charge. But we've recently
Mentors,
exactly. But we've recently just promoted our librarian, who is following in the footsteps of Charles Johnson, Dea Terrafranca, who's in her 30s. We hired a marketing and outreach specialist who's 27. We have 2 curatorial assistants who are working under Ana Bermudez, who are in their 20s. Our goal is to really work to bring in younger staff who can help us vision future exhibits, future programs through the eyes of people who are 20, 30, 40 years old. So that way it's not my perception of what would be relevant to somebody who's in their 20s. Let's have people who are in their 20s and 30s working alongside of us developing programs.
That is excellent. Has there been any ideas in the future specifically to get like a gang of young people in there?
No,
I mean, I'm just gonna say the
No.
most young people I've ever seen in that place, if it wasn't a class, was the student art show.
Yes.
And what you're talking about is endemic in all organizations that are like these strong, stalwart organizations or galleries and such like that we have in Ventura, but where we were, you know, that was started by people who were young when we were young,
Yes.
and now we're like, oh yeah, and you look around, you're like, where is the young blood? So I want to continue on this conversation, hoping some other organizations will hear it.
Well, we've decided we're going to inaugurate this year an innovation committee, and this innovation committee is going to be a broad-based, diverse group of younger individuals who are going to weigh in on programs, education, and technology. We have a long way to go with the way that we are exhibiting. Our exhibits are very low tech, and that's just a matter of the fact that we haven't had any high tech
Time,
staffing or
and
money,
staffing.
all of those things. But we know that there are so many ways that we can be innovating with technology so that we're reaching people that we can actually reach them on their couch if they're not going to make.
Oh, I see
And
what
if we
you're saying.
reach them on their couch, they may make it in our doors.
No,
But
that's
the
a really good
virtual,
idea.
you know, so many museums are exploring how they can reach people around the world virtually.
Yes.
And so we're looking at how we're digitizing all of our historic photographs, our historic documents, making sure that we have a web gallery that people who might want to learn about Ventura County, but they live in Istanbul, and if they have an internet connection, can they reach our content? So that's one of the things that we're looking at 2020 is kind of our goal, to really break through that forefront and not just have a web platform, but to have an interactive web platform.
An international digital platform.
Yes.
A virtual digital space, as they say, right? Or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
I'm behind the times as well, but am always hoping. And
Yes.
having young people in the mix is very, very important. Wow, I cannot believe it. We are really coming close to the end of time. So, all these people that are so excited, that want to come, that want to be a part of this new movement, how's the best way for them to get in touch with y'all? Besides, get yourself into the museums.
Get
Either of
yourself
them.
into the museum. So address 100 East Main Street for our Ventura branch, 926 Railroad Avenue for Santa Paula branch. And then go to our website, which is www.venturamuseum.org.
Okay.
From there, on the homepage, sign up for our e-newsletter. So our e-newsletter goes out twice monthly. It's
a treasure trove.
It has all of our programming. Plus, we're working on how we can use that e-newsletter to promote other agencies and other museums around the county. So look for an MVC recommends, and you'll find out about RISC in Thousand Oaks, or you'll find out about Studio Channel Islands.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank
We'll have
you.
to have you back as these things unfold.
All right.
And thank you for joining us on Our Ventura TV. I'm MB Hanrahan, and I'll be seeing you around.